We're on Easy Street, and it feels so sweet, 'cause the world is but a treat when you're on Easy Street. And we're breaking out the good champagne, we're sitting pretty on the gravy train, and when we sing every sweet refrain repeats right here on Easy Street.
That's right, guys, this is Joe the Orange, and we're on Easy Street, motherfucker. We're right on that street, we're all around it, we're all over the place. And there is no better commander to be on this street than Arminius. At the lower tiers, at tier 5, he's just amazing, especially since the enemy does not defend themselves all that well. To start the game off, we do have someone controlling this AFK Cav on the enemy team and just charging them into spears. A great start for us. It is one thing I do hate is when someone controls the AFK units and just waste them. Waste them like this. It's a pain in the arse. Unless you're on the other team, and then it's great. It's bloody awesome, you get 3 points. Now at this stage I do get shot by those catapults, and I did get hit by 6 boulders. Now what that says to me is that he has 3 catapults, probably undefended, because it takes 3 catapults to shoot 6 boulders. And I'm playing Arminius Cav, and these guys are very quick. I can go scout that out in no time. One thing you will notice when you do play Arminius Cav is that he is very good at punishing the enemy if they make a little screw up. For example, if they leave a little gap, just a tiny little gap, you can get through there because of your speed and go kill all the ranged units. And that's why I think this guy is great when you're versing solo queuers or new players. He just destroys them. They can't handle the speed and the power coming down. So I'm approaching the enemy catapults, and of course they are undefended. Just easy points right there. On a side note, another great thing about this unit is that you can go decamp very quickly. You can basically go anywhere on the map in a matter of seconds. They are also surprisingly good at fighting other cav because they can dodge the enemy charges very easily and then get their own charges off on the enemy. For example, say Alexander misses you. He tries to charge, you just run off, and then he's like, oh fuck, I better run away. Well, you can't run from this. You can't do it. You're too slow, mate. Then Arminius just gets those rear charges in and destroys him. I was hoping this cav would try to charge me right then. That way I could have baited him out. A better choice would have been for him to wait in that bush area for me to get really close, really fucking close, and then boom! Smashed into me, deleted me in one charge. It can be hard to do that to Barbarian Cav because of their vision range, as well as Arminius just being so damn quick. At this stage, I do see him going after those archers, so I'm going to try to stop that. I could have separated my units here. It would have been a better option, but I did not do that. Separating your units can also end badly, because it's going to take longer to reinforce them, but it's a bit of a trade-off, really. Now, I do go for that single unit charge here, just in case they did decide to charge into a wall or some shit. Meanwhile, my other 2 units are going to line up another charge from the flank, cutting off their escape route while these spears come up and help us out. And it's a good thing those spears did head towards this combat situation. This guy does have a higher tier commander than me, so I would lose in the melee engagement. Arminius himself is also very good at fighting at the lower tiers. Before all the other commanders get their ultimates leveled up to that stage where they can just stomp you. And while we're on the subject of stomping, the horse kick ability is very good. But then from tier 6 to tier 9, nothing man. Nothing. There's some decent stuff in there. I'd still rather be able to kick someone right in the face. But it really depends on what you prefer. Personally, I'd rather boot someone in the face than slit my own wrist. That's just me though. By the way guys, some good changes are coming into the game, one of them being that your commander can only be the same tier as your units. So for example, if you queue with tier 5 units with a tier 10 commander, your abilities will get rolls back to tier 5. Which is fucking about damn time. Now it's going to be more even games across the field. There will be some issues though, because if you guys didn't know this, the commanders are not exactly balanced when it comes to certain tiers. For example, Germanicus is really good up to tier 8. And Boudica seems pretty shit until tier 8. Then you have tier 10. And I've got to say, from my experience at the higher tiers, most of the commanders are pretty damn balanced. You can do well on any of them. Maybe not the barbarian ones, because fuck those cunts. But if I had to pick the strongest faction, I would say Greek, because I like their playstyles, etc. But Rome is also just as strong, really. Just a different playstyle. And then you have the barbarians. They always are going to have Vercingetorix. So that kind of makes up for the other shit. One thing I would say though is that some commanders are a bit weak. But instead of nerfing fucking 10 commanders to make the 3 shit ones good, how about just buffing the shit commanders? Because every time I go to the forums, etc., it's always nerf this, nerf that, nerf this. You never see someone going, can't you buff this shit? It's a bit fucking weak. Like Ambush. It's just a piss weak ability. It's okay, I guess. It's for your archers, alright? So you go barb archers, you get a longer range. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do, then you can't use your other abilities. Infiltrate as well, in my opinion, is a bit of a piss weak ability. Basically, the barbarians seem to have all these abilities that I think are piss weak. Like, Infiltrate is a decent ability by itself, but the cooldown is just out of this fucking world. You get to use it 2 times a game. And then if I had a list of other shit I'd rather, it would be very long. And those abilities usually have a shorter cooldown. I mean, Defiance has a shorter cooldown than fucking Infiltrate. So, how the fuck did that happen? Rebellion has a shorter cooldown. Vengeance is about the same, but it's just way better. Fear, way better. I'm trying to think of an ability. Oh, Wedge. There you go. I'd rather Infiltrate than Wedge. So, we found something that's shitter. But then again, Wedge is a toggle ability. You can turn it off and on. So it's basically a tie for last place. You have Wedge and Infiltrate that I think are the worst third abilities in the game. Yeah. Luckily, Alexander Cav kind of makes up with it with Hammer and the Shock Cav stats, etc. And Arminius has his speed, so that's always going to be in his favour. And one thing that does piss me off is when someone plays Vercingetorix. I've seen them 100 times in game. They're always Versi. And then they want other shit to get nerfed. It's like if you played Arminius or if you played Boudica at the lower tiers all the time, I'll go, oh, I understand that. But if you're playing Versi and bitching about other commanders, you're a fucking shit cunt. I'm just going to say that, you're fucking shit. I play Versi all the time, mate. He's like one of the top tier commanders. Anyway, dudes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and all that shit, and I'll see you next time. And Versi players that want to nerf other people can really go suck a dick. That's just, I'm just going to end on that.